they're searching those cars, looking for anybody who still might be trapped in those cars.
It's a huge piece of crane.
And by the way, New York City Transit said trains are bypassing stations at Franklin Street and Chambers Street.
One thing, we'll bring in Inez in a moment, as far as traffic goes, Worth Street is not a major artery, east-west artery. You're either there with your car, probably, if you work there or if you live there. It's not the kind of street that attracts a lot of crosstown attention, right, Inez? Okay, she confirms that for us.
All right, so we're going to take a quick update from Mike Woods. Mike, are you ready to talk about weather? Can you talk about the wind a little bit? You know, sometimes lower Manhattan, Greg, you live in lower Manhattan, it can be a little gustier down there.
Close to the water, sure, but this is several blocks from the water, and those buildings are relatively high, and they can shield, they can kind of block the wind. Way too early to say what caused this, but Mike, what were the winds downtown?
The winds so far this morning, it depends on what time we're talking about in particular, but at the surface, at least Central Park, 10 mile per hour. Now, that's your sustained winds. Wind gusts, though, look at this, up to 32 miles per hour out at Central Park. That's a significant wind. When you see wind gusts up to around 30 to 40 miles per hour, it can do things like take down tree limbs and power lines, things like that, and I imagine it could affect something like a crane, especially as much exposure as a crane can contain. But anyhow, there is still a decent amount of wind going on out there. The storm's still cranking up, and as far as rescue efforts are concerned, the snow is not done yet. Now, we still have fairly windy conditions. It's coming in from the north, and the snow that we see, well, it's still moderate snow over us here in the tri-state region, but there is some drying getting ready to make its way into the tri-state region here soon enough. But yeah, we'll still be under the gun with the windier, wet conditions. Temperatures are right around freezing at this point in time. So luckily, this isn't as potent as the last storm just about 2 weeks ago, but still winds pretty persistent coming in from the north at around 10 to 20 miles per hour, but gusting up to 30 to 35 is what we will be dealing with some moderate snow for probably another couple of hours, and then it should wrap up as we head into the afternoon. So we will see improvements as time goes on. Now, as far as traffic conditions are concerned, yeah, I imagine this is going to be somewhat of a problem out there. Let's take a look at air temperatures as it stands right now. Freezing on the roadways out there, 31 degrees out at Central Park, 32 in Newark as well as Belmar, 33 degrees in Islip, 33 also in Poughkeepsie. So a lot of this snow and ice is probably sticking all around the tri-state region as the accumulation numbers start climbing up, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Here's the future cast. It'll show you what's happening from this point forward. We've got moderate snow with us. It shuts down pretty quickly. In fact, over the next couple of hours, it's pretty much out of here. This timestamp goes up to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We actually have a clear sky here over the core of the tri-state. Not quite clear in the east end of Long Island, but the snow has come to a close at that point in time. And then the winds won't really die down until sometime later on tonight. So I don't believe whether it's going to be a huge player from this point forward, but it may very well have been a player up to this point. So we'll have to wait and see until we get more information back. Over the weekend, we are going to see clearer skies here in the tri-state region. The melt will be on because we'll see sunny skies and temps in the low to mid 40s out there for you. Snow totals in the end, about 2 to 4 inches over the city. Looks like that may have already come through for most of us, about 4 to 8 inches in the pink shaded areas, and that's most of Long Island. Some folks are reporting up to 6 inches of snow, and they're not even done with the snow as of yet. And keep in mind, it's also a very heavy, wet snow. Whether or not that also may have come into play here today with the crane accident still remains to be seen. So today, the snow is getting out of here this afternoon. High temp goes up to 40. It's dry over the weekend. There was another small snow chance coming to us, but that's not until Tuesday of next week. So it may be a factor out there, but again, we'll have to wait for more information to come back to us. Rosanna and Greg?
Mike, thank you very much. Again, we'll look live now at Worth Street and East-West Street between Church and West Broadway. A crane has collapsed. A massive crane takes up a good portion of the block. One person reported dead, one seriously injured. The block is closed, obviously, to everybody but emergency workers, first responders. 40 Worth Street, we have a couple of businesses there. It's a major pre-war building. Weill Cornell Medical Center is there. We also have...
Yeah, my daughter just let me know that the Innocence Grounds Project, which is comprised of volunteers and lawyers who go there and try to fight for people who are wrongly incarcerated. Their offices are over there as well. We're hearing 15 people were reported injured. This is according to the New York Times. They said at least one person was killed. We're hearing maybe 2 others may be critically injured. Their emergency personnel are now trying to see if there's anybody else trapped inside those cars right now. We're hearing that New York City Transit said trains were bypassing stations at Franklin Street and Chambers Street. We also know that Con Ed is in the area. They're trying to cap off the gas in that area because there were reports that people smell gas in that area, that there might be a break somewhere along the way. And as Mike just mentioned, the wind is gusty. The wind is gusty, and that is a very, very large crane.
We have seen cranes come down before in this city, particularly over the past 10 years or so. They are, as we mentioned before, big pieces of equipment, complex, difficult, and challenging to rig. They have to be done by the book. There is plenty of room for error. We are it's way too early in this process to speculate about how this crane came down, but it did in a spectacular fashion. Traffic is now closed on Worth Street, again, in East West Street. It's, by the way, if you are not Manhattanite, this is about really maybe a 6-minute walk northwest from City Hall, right in the heart of Tribeca.
All right, I'm looking at the FDNY's tweet right now, and they're saying that they're there at 40 Worth Street and West Broadway. 1 patient confirmed DOA, 2 in serious condition at this moment. As we mentioned, this is a business area, but a friend of mine just texted me and she said lots of parents use that street to bring their kids to school. So it is an area that's also very family friendly in Tribeca.
Once again, live pictures on the left and the right of a crane, a massive crane collapse at 40 Worth Street. This happened at 8:25 this morning. 1 fatality so far. We're hearing, as you mentioned, more than a dozen injuries at this point. There were initial reports of a gas leak in that area, but they seem to have been. We aren't hearing that anymore. All
right, we're going to keep you covered. We're going to take a quick break. Good Day New York will return.
This program brought to you by